Hello, everybody, and welcome to one of the most anticipated matchups in the top 8. It is your host B Champ, and with me I have Powell.
Hello.
Powell, what do we have going on? Who's playing? Who are the celebrities that we're going to be watching today?
Looks like Nisperox versus Yagami. Yagami won the last tournament, and I'm not sure if Nisperox even competed. Is he like one of the rising stars, or what's the situation looking like?
Yeah, Nisperox this is his first tournament, and so what happened is Nisperox came into the scene, I don't know, 8 months ago, and was doing incredibly well as a new player, uh, just beating everybody. He was the person to beat for such a long time, and eventually Yagami was able to get ahead, get on his level, beat him a few times, and Nisprox kind of disappeared from the 1v1 scene, and now he's back in Critter Clash. I'm really excited to have him because he is just such an important player to our community in terms of just a new player who is really skilled, or a new player to the online scene. And I'm really excited to see this best of 5 set. So we have Soothing Oasis as the first game. Let's get started. And so, just so you know, also, if you're
After we
watching,
take out the enemy labs,
by
this island would make
default,
for some nice beachfront
all
property.
games from the top 8 going ahead, so part 3, are going to be best of 3, but players can choose amongst themselves if they prefer best of 5. Yagami down here in purple, Nisperox up here in cyan.
Or what the optimal strategies for Soothing Oasis are? Trying to go for the contested expos first, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to rush on this map. You can, but generally it'll be too slow. It just takes so long for the henchmen, if you want to do a proxy chamber, to be able to walk all the way here, or to walk units here. It's also very common for people to fence off these choke points in mid, and so going for an early rush, land rush at least, can be really, really difficult. Water rushes, you have to go all the way around the map, swimming with your henchmen or with your units to pull off an amphibious rush. And so overall, you're relatively safe on Soothing Oasis from a rush. That being said, be
Ready, boss.
prepared to be able to take one on, either do some preemptive strategies like fencing, but normally people will play a macro game on this, go for coal and expansions first. It is worth noting that we have two distinct areas. We kind of have this center area of Soothing Oasis, where we have the cliffs as well as the oases themselves. And then we have the islands that are contested. The islands have a little bit more coal and a geyser, but if you control both of the middle sections, then you also might be able to control these cliff sections, and those are going to end up having more coal actually than the outside expos.
Also, I wonder when people tend to go for the expos on the islands, since they're very isolated, but sometimes that can work in your favor because the your opponent might not be able to reach them.
Ready, boss.
Like,
Yeah, and definitely with land units, if you have land level 2s, then your islands might be safe. Looks like Nisperox coming out with one of his signature units, the Wolf Walking Stick. So, a very common trope, it seems like, amongst some of these high level players, especially in Nisperox, is sending in a single unit as the scout. So instead of sending in a henchman, it's going to be sending in a single unit. They tend to be a little bit faster. They can have keen sense.
and they're invisible unless your opponent has their own keen sense.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Yagami does now have the Soundbeam Tower, and so Nisperox, upon seeing that, turns around. Nisperox also is able to discover that Yagami is here in mid along with him, and consequently goes for this island, but he's going to find that Yagami is already there as well. Yagami doing a great job
Boss.
at building presence all over the map. and building a lot of ranged units. So it looks like with his 2 chambers, he is going to be able to fight anything that Nisperox tries to throw at him right now. Nisperox not even really specking into units.
Ready, boss.
But Yagami
Players just
hopefully also sees
expanding.
this. Yeah, it looks like both players are pretty intense to just control space right now. Yagami does have this henchman down here that maybe he forgot about, but I'm sure he would be scouting out this island to notice that Nisperox isn't there.
I'm interested, is that pure land
This is pure land, yes.
on that island? So once he makes those creatures, they're gonna have to stay there to guard forever, I guess.
Yes, or you can gyro them around, but it looks like we have our first conflict in mid. Yagami
Boss.
sending in these henchmen to try to take this generator, escorted by all these ranged units. And it
Good
looks
call.
like Yagami actually has less ranged units. He should lose this engagement, but ooh, the keen sense coming in clutch for Nisperox and taking out a lot of Yagami's flyers that were camouflaged.
Yeah, I wonder what they were intended for. Raiding some expos before they can get some. No, looks like for generators. It's also
Yes.
very useful.
Yes, Nisperox should be winning this engagement here as long as he keeps up pressure. It looks like he's also winning the island engagement here. And Yagami, though, does have a successful raid on Nisperox's base. Nisperox does need anti-air towers. This is good. And it seems like we're seeing some level 3s come out. So far, we are pretty neck and neck. Nisperox is slowly tilting the game in his favor if he's able to take this island. Yagami, though, I think because of this island down here that he's going to take very soon, once he realizes that there's nothing here, is going to have a slight edge.
Nisperox spent a lot of resources on units for the top island, but it's gonna take a while before his henchmen get there.
He does have a couple henchmen here.
Hello.
I guess that makes it a bit better, but still,
Yeah, as long as he's able to get this
Yagami's getting
workshop
the bottom island for free, at least for now.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely one of those moments that we often find where we try to raid something and we find out that no one's there, and then we take it for ourselves. It's always a nice feeling.
Ready, boss.
Yagami also getting the
Yeah,
gyrocopter.
especially if you already have a henchman there.
Look like Yagami has henchman yoke. Not quite yet for Nisperox, although Nisperox does have the clinics. This is going to be really big for Yagami. He has built these sound beam towers in mid, which is going to slow down his opponent from being able to take the generator.
This thing pushed through the middle, destroying the geyser.
Yeah, this is a really nice raid by Yagami, just sending in a few units that were scouting this island over to disrupt Nisperox's economy. Nisperox hopefully is going to be able to build on this geyser soon, except Yagami has the hovering artillery. Right now, it's still anyone's game. This hovering artillery could go to the cliffs and really do a pretty large number on these units that are trying to come through of Nisperox. This raid by Yagami, though, is going to be extremely strong. Just trickling in units, although it's coming from far away, it is a huge disruptor to Nisperox's economy.
Meanwhile, Yagami's building up some water chambers down south.
Yes, he does have a lot of these water chambers. It's going to be a very well protected island.
Also, the thing with those water chambers is that they might not get spotted, so your opponent trying to raid that island might get kind of baited, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely building a lot of water chambers around here can make a really nice arc of units that could very easily surround the enemy.
Ready, boss.
Oh, and is this a gyro drop as well? Wow.
Ready, boss.
It's a lot
This
of
for henchmen or range units. This is going to be really strong. This should finish off Nisperox because Nisperox doesn't really have that much in his lab right now. Yagami's building up a really strong defense here. He's just going to hold this tight choke, encircling ranged units and sound beam towers to get a nice attack arc on any units coming in the choke. And in the meantime, he's just going to close it on Nisperox's lab, who is no longer mining at his most plentiful source of income. This is a extremely decisive attack that's probably going to decide the game. And
yeah.
this,
Even if he turns on lab defense, it's gonna take a huge hit to his electric economy.
yeah, and he's losing his geyser here, and Yagami just keeps streaming stuff in. It's relentless amounts of creatures.
Could you highlight what's the water speed on those level 3 octopus melee?
31 upgraded, so very, very fast.
A lot more than the usual Pram that only had 12, which
Yes.
allows him to get them in way faster through the side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Yagami's also pushing through mid here. Nisperox's position is just falling apart.
Yeah, if he wants to fight back, he's gonna have to build up his own force before sending them in, which is gonna take even longer.
Yeah, Nisperox never took this geyser, interestingly. He never took this upper expo here. These cliff expos, and so he's going to be down because he doesn't have this workshop and doesn't have this geyser. It's going to be just economy alone. Even if Yagami were to not win this engagement, Nisperox is so behind in his economy right now. His lab temperature is increasing, and he calls it. That's a very strong performance by Yagami, taking advantage of Soothing Oasis by all of the different attack avenues. Nisperox was extremely focused down middle and didn't try really any raiding. He was just building up middle. Yagami was able to take advantage of that kind of tunnel vision that Nisperox had and convert it into a victory. So very exciting game 1. Excited to see what Nisperox counterpicks for game 2. Hello guys, and welcome to Nisperox versus Yagami. It's your host B-Champ. We are in Critter Clash. This is the top 8, and it's actually game 2. So it came a little late to the party for live casting, and we did have the first game. We're going to splice that together with this game later, so I'll just reveal now that Yagami won the first game, and this is Nisperox's counter pick on vacation. With me, I have Powell as my co-caster.
Hello, good to be here.
Good to have you, Powell. So Yagami won game 1 on Soothing Oasis, and Yagami has often talked about how Soothing Oasis is not one of his strong maps, but it turned out really well for him. Going into game 2, do you think Nisperox can beat Yagami on vacation?
I haven't seen Nisperox play on vacation much, but from what I've seen, Yagami adopted a new strategy for bigger maps where he just builds a million chambers. Not sure if that's like a new thing he does.
Take out all enemy labs.
Like maybe go for economy and then build reinforces with a lot of chambers. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually need to... Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is a smaller map, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull that same thing off. So we do have Yagami down here in the purple, Nisperox up in the cyan, and both... Actually, Yagami's not going for a lightning rod right away. Looks like Nisperox went for the early rod, but Yagami's content to just keep on with henchmen only for the moment. So maybe we're going to see a slow level 2 from Yagami, or possibly a conversion, using converting to get to level 2. It's interesting. He's filling up. Both players are actually filling up their base coal first. I actually begin long distance mining once I have about 7 henchmen. I'm not sure what is optimal though, but mining to these side coal piles earlier or not.
I guess focusing more on electricity gets your level 2 faster, but focusing on coal, if you can survive, could have its uses, I guess.
Interesting. Nisperox going for 4 rods. 4 going level 2. And looks like he's going to go for the generator. Yagami opting
That's what I've
for...
heard. I've heard from other players that Nisperox likes to go for a lot of electricity and convert it into coal. Looks like that's what he's doing.
Yep, he's just going level 2 now. Yagami is a little bit behind him. And Nisperox is also going for the top generator, which is going to be very, very strong. Yagami building an additional workshop in his base. This workshop kind of acts like a fence also. It's going to take aggro from the enemy who come to his base, which gives him a little bit of time. Nisperox now at level 2, Yagami shortly behind him. And Yagami coming up with the chamber up top, Nisperox down on bottom by their expansions. Nisperox going straight in with a scouting warthog, which is going to beat Yagami's fence.
I actually like this trickling in melee because it's not a big investment, but it can take your opponent's henchmen like away from mining.
Yeah, definitely. And now the fence is up, so Yagami is going to be able to defend this rush pretty easily versus Soundbeam Tower. He's going to get up another Soundbeam Tower, and this is going to be not too bad for Yagami here.
Wait, it looks like Yagami's doing the heavy economy into multiple chambers thing.
Yes, he does have a lot of chambers going up north, and he's built security down south. That's the nice thing about the south position. It's easy to fence off. You can fence off this north position as well, but Nisperox has not opted for that build. And there's the
Yeah, it's
Hyenials
really
coming up.
hard to. Oh, it's not defended at all compared to Yagami's bottom side, where he's never getting through.
Yeah, and this is looks like kind of maybe an experience mistake from Nisperox, not realizing that, hey, if Yagami is fencing in this side, that means he's going to attack from the other side or through the water. And just wasn't able to get that read from the situation. A lot of times when your opponent
Yeah,
creates a fence, you can move your units away from that fence, actually, instead of trying to attack the fence. Because these artillery units would be much better off likely defending his base right now, because now Nisperox has no henchmen mining coal.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage for Yagami right now.
Yeah.
No mining at home, plus more units at
All
his base.
Nisperox's rods are getting wrecked also. And there's only a few
Is the
artillery
top
units.
generator claimed by anyone?
Yes, it is claimed by Nisperox. So Nisperox is able to live off convert for a little bit, but overall his economy is just way less than Yagami's. And so this is looking pretty dire. And it looks like another Yagami win.
So this was like an all-in level 2 attack?
I would consider it kind of like an eco to level 2. It wasn't fast enough for me to really say all in, because you could definitely go to level 3 if you wanted to right now. But
I mean,
there's
it
the
wasn't
game.
like it wasn't a rush by any means, but when he did decide to attack, it was just with level 2s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wow, that was a really decisive victory by Yagami, and that pushes Nisperox down into the loser's bracket.
It was a quick series.
Yeah. All right, so with that, we can see if... wow, big news. I've just been informed they're doing a best of 5. So it's 2 games to Yagami, 0 games to Nisperox, which means Yagami still needs 1 more victory if he wants to clinch this. But Nisperox lost on his counter pick. It's not looking good for him. This is a big development.
Interesting counterpick. Vacation versus Yagami.
Yeah, that is going to be definitely interesting. I mean, Vacation is a map that everyone's comfortable on, and so it's hard to pick that against Yagami, or anyone really who's very experienced. I feel like my strategy is usually to pick not Vacation, because I'd like to try to hope that I'm maybe more experienced on one map than another player is.
Yeah, I think you're a very versatile player from what I've seen.
Alright, game 3. So, what could Nisperox have done there to not lose so hard against Yagami? I think the big things were recognizing the fence, transitioning his aggro to defend his base, and also just defending his base better. The other thing is he built his rods in such a orientation that fenced off from an attack from below, yet he was expanding below to that workshop. And so what you have to worry about is the attack from the left-hand side. And putting his rods maybe in a position over there could have helped him create maybe a pseudo-fence with buildings that slowed down the attack.
Yeah, if he fenced this top side, he would force Yagami to have some barrier destroy, and in that case, he could easily kill them off with some ranged units of his own on the other side of his fence.
Yeah, that's also a possibility as well. Alright, Kemerau. So this is a map that I've in the past equated with Vacation in the sense that... Oh no, that's Indigo Beach. I'm talking about Indigo Beach. Kemerau is different map.
There's
It
no telling
is
what evil plans our enemies have afoot, but we can put a stop to
really
them by
great
taking out
for...
their labs.
and so it's a very similar playstyle in the sense that there are two main expos that you're going to have to go through, and you can fence a lot. And there is a pool in mid, except the expos have geysers, which is really nice. And you have to access the water chamber from the middle pool, unless you use a gyrocopter. The Vacation, each person can very easily have access to their amphibious units, but here, whoever controls the middle is going to be able to control the water chambers in middle, and therefore the amphibious units. So making sure to have land units on this map is extremely important. That being said, a land-only army won't work either, because you won't be able to control this middle geyser. Yagami opting not to build the lightning rod again.
Interesting. I mean, if you control land, you don't necessarily need to control the water as well, unless it's a bit later in the game. Like, probably land level 2s is the standard, or what do you think?
Yeah, I would say land level 2 is the standard, and then having both land and amphibious options at level 3. Nisperox going
Another
again.
heavy electricity build from Nisperox.
Yeah, he really likes this build. Going for all the lightning rods before level 2. And it's interesting because if you were to get rushed right now, so now's about when someone could be hitting level 2, and he doesn't even have a workshop to convert that electricity. So Yagami is not looking at level 2 yet. I think he actually just started going level 2, maybe not even. There, he's just starting level 2 now, and it looks like they have discovered each other.
How many chambers are you expecting Yagami to build this game?
A few, but it looks like Nisperox has the initiative, and oh, he should be able to win that engagement. He retreated though. Interesting. I thought if he would have hench punched this henchman, it would have killed a few of them. But it looks like he's gonna opt for building some ranged units to fight the sound beam. Yagami is building some hyena ranged as well, and smart move by Yagami. Knowing that Nisperox is focusing over here, he needs to expand over to the left.
Yeah, it's very tricky to micro melee versus those sound beams, especially if you can't get to them since they're squeezed in between two buildings.
Oh, he needs to repair after the building is complete. You have to repair it. Oh.
I
So
don't think Nisperox can push through top.
no, I think it will be difficult to push through top. It looks like he's opting to go around. Nisperox though, or not, no, Yagami though has already made a home here. Nisperox going for the geyser, which I think is really strong play.
I think Yagami's just gonna control both sides soon.
No, Nisperox should be able to get this side. Yagami can't reinforce because of his fence, and so Nisperox should be able to hold this down and take this out pretty swiftly. But what Yagami does have is the lead in the workshop expansion on this side. Nisperox is a little slow, and Yagami also has the workshop in middle.
Is any player looking at level 3?
Let's check it out. Yagami, no. Nisperox, no. Which I think is a good move because Yagami's about to come in with a lot of level 2s. Nisperox has to retreat these units. Good call, and he needs to build on this geyser ASAP, especially if he's going for a convert strategy. Looks like he's doing that now. So the keen sense of
Yagami
his
just
artillery...
has...
Yeah, the Yagami has a lot of units. These long-range artillery are going to be able to see these camo units with their keen sense. And it just looks like Nisperox has weak attack.
Nisperox likes his camouflage units. So it's a very good use of those keen sense on artillery.
Definitely. And Yagami taking this center coal on both sides in the middle. That's going to be a huge economic advantage. Nisperox needs to figure out how to raid somehow. All these wolves just getting completely taken out. The keen sense of the eagles really helping these hyenas target all of those units, and Nisperox suffered heavy losses. And this is a really good unit matchup, and probably comes from a hard read from Yagami knowing his enemy, because these wolves are just getting completely wasted. And
Yagami has both expos in the water middle, so
Nisperox
that's
now at level 3.
Huge.
Nisperox level 3 is going to be really strong. Yagami is trailing, not looking at a level 3 yet.
Yeah, Nisperox is going level 3, but Yagami has way more economy, so it's not looking good for Nisperox.
He just sent these ranged units into their death against all that artillery. Oh gosh. And he does have these
level 3 artillery is not gonna do well versus those level 2 longer range guys.
I think these level 3 artillery are going to do great. I think they're going to absolutely destroy. Not with the numbers that he has, but they're going to do pretty well. Unfortunately, Yagami has melee that's going to come in and do some work. So Nisperox needs to be able to support some ranged units right now, or some other melee units.
Interesting raid from the super slow level 3 artillery on the expo middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's essential that Yagami doesn't keep both of these center expos. And Nisperox has to convert this level 3 advantage, but he's not massing units right now. These Oogs just came in and did too much. Nisperox doesn't have any chambers over at his expo. He just has this water chamber in mid that he's building from, but it's looking really dire. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this one. Yagami just has too many units, and not even looking at a level 3 yet.
Yagami has both range and melee, so he can deal with artillery, he can deal with potential melee.
Yeah, and it's just the number of chambers as well. Yagami has 4 chambers he's building from. Nisperox now down to 1 creature chamber, 1 water chamber. Not building any chambers back at his workshops. I think that's the big mistake here, is that he can't just can't get units out fast enough.
Is Yagami still at level 2?
Yes, he is. Not even looking at a level 3 yet. He's just going all in at level 2. But it does look like Nisperox is kind of defending this. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like Yagami, once he realizes that the level 2 push isn't going to work this time. I wonder if he's going to start level 3 of his own, especially since he has so much economy already.
He's not looking at that level 3 yet. Oh, Nisperox needs henchmen. He needs to build his economy back up, but he's looking really, really good. Nisperox still at level 2, not looking at level 3, which means that Nisperox is going to be able to enjoy a pretty big lead now that he has a mass of level 3s.
Still no level 3. Interesting.
Yeah. Nisperox just needs to start building up his lightning rods again, getting his geyser back. And building another chamber. Man, come on, Nisperox. Please build another chamber. Although
Wonder
I'd
if
feel
this
pretty
is some
comfortable
sort
if I
of
were Nisperox right now. Yagami going advanced structures, interestingly. And building a water chamber.
he might get quite a few water chambers in the
And
middle.
he's starting level 3 now. Oh, weird. Does Nisperox not know there's a fence here yet?
Nisperox has his super slow artillery going bottom, so they won't be able to retreat to his base fast enough if Yagami just goes for his lab now, killing henchmen maybe.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely true, but Nisperox could just go through mid. If the units here leave, then he's leaving his expansions open for raiding.
What kind of units are you expecting at level 3 from Yagami?
Rams? Rams would do alright, but against the Horns, Horns melee, it's going to be tough. I think Nisperox has a pretty secure lead at this point. Wow, just all those hyenas just completely taken out by these belugas. And Yagami just can't get a water chamber up.
Yeah, that's tricky. I'm not sure if he even has any pure land.
Running henchmen in.
Unfortunately.
Where are these hench going? Oh, he's trying to run around and build a water chamber, but it's going to get caught again. And in the meantime, his expansion is just completely decimated. He did not bring pure land to help him on this. It's very important to have pure land on Camarao, because if you don't control the water, you can't build units. Zebra Octopus coming out. These are pretty good. I like these a lot. They do a lot of damage. But they're just getting chewed up by these rams.
I'm interested to see if this goes to game 4. If Yagami's gonna opt for a faster level 3 next game.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that was going Yagami's way. This is pretty incredible, actually, that Nisperox was able to pull that one back. I can't believe he did it. I thought Yagami just had the economy advantage. I think maybe he just underestimated. He took too long to get to level 3. That's really it. He underestimated Nisperox's artillery, which just completely destroyed him. Because, yeah, look at his level 3 time, 14 minutes and 36 seconds compared to 7 minutes 58. So he was 6 minutes behind, 6.5 minutes behind Nisperox to level 3, which is just way too long. You can't do that. Especially when you don't have any water units to protect at level 2 to protect yourself, and only bringing water level 3s or amphib level 3s. So, all right, we're going to game 4. Yagami's still up.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see which map Yagami's gonna pick now.
Yeah, so it is Yagami's pick. What's it gonna be? Fuhrer? Fuhrer would be pretty crazy. Always great stuff on Fuhrer.
Also, I'm not sure if Gray and Graham Champ, you're playing in like an hour, from what I've heard.
Playing very soon. I mean, I'm doing. We're supposed to play an hour previously, but then now I'm doing this, so it'll probably be like right after I'm done here, which I want to adjust a few armies quickly before we play. And I feel like, I should get caster privileges because Gray's able to make armies right now, and I'm not, because I'm doing this. I feel like it's only fair.
Yeah. I think you should be able to make your own armies, at least have enough time. Same thing with professional tennis. I'm not sure if you follow, but there tends to be a situation where the players have to play a match like every single
If
day.
we can take out all enemy labs, this island is ours for the taking.
Yeah, I think I also in charge of the tournament. I make the rules. Just kidding. I shouldn't make rules that unfairly apply to me. That would be cheating. Alright, so Nisperox over here up top.
I mean, you know what they say, rules are meant to be broken, especially if you're the one that made them.
I am still so intrigued by this different build order choice. Yagami is just really opting not to build rods early. Is that a hard read on Nisperox, knowing Nisperox won't rush him? Because I feel like if you just were to rush Yagami because he's going to go a late level 2, then he'd just lose. I mean, Nisperox doesn't have the chance to look at the games and the recordings, but that's pretty surprising to me that Yagami's going to leave himself so vulnerable early game.
Yeah, I think Nisperox never goes full on rush. He might just harass with a few units, level 2, but I think you can get away with a slightly greedier build like Yagami's doing versus Nisperox.
Yeah, and this is something that is really cool about having these tournaments is you can know your enemy, you can prepare in advance, and tailor your playstyle just for them. I think it's what really makes a lot of this competitive play really unique, and something that I really like about Critter Clash, something I like about the World Cup.
Interesting. Whose idea was it to make World Cup 2v2? Was it just out of convenience? Because it's hard to get organize 6 players at the same time?
It's also for spectators, since only you can't do spectator maps for 3v3s, and a big part of World Cup is live streaming. And then not all countries have 3 people to represent them. Not even all countries have 2. So picking 2 we thought was a really nice thing for World Cup to make it team oriented, except still be practical for spectating and the like. So what is this? Chameleon Porcupine. Oh, wow, nice. I love Nisperox using some of these units as scouts as well, and he notes that Yagami is building range, and so he's responding with artillery, which is the correct move. That's the right play. And
Yeah, that was
Yagami
a
is
good
going
move.
into a trap here because the artillery are coming, and they are so gorgeous. Wow. That is so good. It's short-range artillery, though, so actually these kited decently well. The key here will be to keep the artillery in front of the range units. Oh, but there's deflect. This deflect is going to be difficult for the range and artillery to deal with. Really, you're going to have to fight this with melee. These need to be attacked with melee. But
Interesting that Nisperox fixed up his middle generator. That was a good move because it was about to get one shot by the hyena eels.
Yeah, I think it would have been a really good move if he had built a sound beam tower there, though, as well. That way he had something to retreat behind. And Nisperox going in. This is strong move, good move. Oh, why is he retreating suddenly? Oh, I guess he saw these building units. But I don't think Yagami has seen that there are these camo melee units. We haven't revealed that yet. So no one building soundbeam
As
towers,
Nisperox,
interestingly.
I'm interested if Nisperox has started going for a gyrocopter, because since there's a stalemate middle, Yagami's kind of like backing that up with his own gyrocopter, which can help him in the long run.
Yeah, Yagami has the gyrocopter. Yagami's going level 3. Nisperox, however, is just staying at level 2 right now and going all in, and it's working. Absolutely working. He's just completely destroyed this center expansion with so many spam range units. But Yagami's level 3 now, so this could be a mirror of the previous match where Yagami is now going to go level 3. If Nisperox doesn't go 3 soon, okay, Nisperox starting 3, that's good. Then Yagami's 3s could take over here.
I'm interested if there's going to be any artillery on the cliffs against that level 2 mass range from Nisperox.
Yeah, I think there definitely could be. Range is really difficult. You're going to have to micro the range really, really carefully against these deflect melee, because these are really spammy units that their sole purpose is just to be deflection armor and allow your ranged units to run havoc. So you firing very, very carefully, having really careful attention to micro is going to be tough with all of these rattlesnake bugs. And Nisperox now at level
Also,
3. That means Yagami was not able to convert his level 3 advantage into anything. He's just lost middle. He does have this geyser up top, but he's going to need to build more chambers at home, a lot more chambers at home, if he hopes to be able to defend anything right now. He is looking at Henchman Yoke. But, I mean, Nisperox extremely strong here. And Yagami going to the cliffs to build the second generator. So, as long as Nisperox doesn't take this coal expansion in mid, the second one, then they might actually be kind of equal in economy. Especially
nice little barricade from buildings and a fence on the bottom side.
yeah, definitely very
If he
important.
can stall long enough for his 2 clip geysers to get him some income, maybe he can get his feet back on the ground.
Oh no, Yagami just left this unbuilt creature chamber by his lab. And his generator is getting attacked by these ranged units. The thing about this map is the generators are never safe.
I wonder if he even noticed them on the cliffs.
Oh dear. Yagami, my man. This is rough. This is Nisperox just closing in with the level 2s. And I'm sure the level 3s by Nisperox, yep, there they are, not far behind at all. Completely tearing through Yagami's Expo. And this is GG. That's 2-2. Nisperox coming back from behind.
Yeah, I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be a quick 3-0 from Yagami.
Yeah. Actually, Yagami is able to defend his base here, and he does have the cliff expos, so I wouldn't count him out quite yet, especially if he does have the electricity upgrade. Maybe I discounted him too soon here. Building
He
his
did scrap
emergency
up
water
quite a
chamber.
bit of those level 3 range. Maybe they can put in some work.
Yeah. I mean, he will be able to take out this group of units over here with proper focus fire. And take back his expo. So Nisperox now, though, looking at taking this cliff geyser, putting a little attack up top. This is going to slow Yagami down. He did lose a lot of henchmen. And he's going to need something to deal with Nisperox's level 3s. Nisperox still with the advantage.
Yeah, especially if he steals that left geyser from Yagami. He already destroyed it. I wonder if he plans on sending some henchmen to build there.
Our artillery just completely raiding this generator. Very strong. Yagami. Hench shield into artillery is not going to be good. And there's a big lack of focus fire from Yagami. He does have immune, which is nice. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it will be. But he's losing his expo in the back here as well.
Yeah, Nisperox is playing really well on this game.
Yeah, he is. And this is Yagami's counter pick as well. So Yagami really needs to kick it in gear. He lost this geyser over on the left. He needs to take that back ASAP. He is expanding into middle, which is good. But Yagami needs a little bit more to face these bombardier horses. He does have immune, which is nice. But this is still not an easy battle. His henchmen, oh yeah. Those henchmen all just got wrecked by the artillery. And the henchmen don't know what to do. They're healing themselves rather than Yagami's units. In the meantime, Nisperox is bombarding Yagami's expo. And I believe that was
it's going to
Nisperox
be
level
really
4.
hard to come back from this
Yeah.
if you're the bottom side.
Yeah, and now the level 4s are coming out from Nisperox, which are just going to be absolutely crushing.
There's
Wow.
Yagami calling GG.
2-2. Yagami winning the first 2 games decisively, I might add. And Nisperox just holding on. And winning 2 games in a row. This is anyone's match.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if who came up with the initiative to make it a best of 5 instead of a best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, definitely in Nisperox's favor that they ended up choosing a best of 5. So, and it's in our favor as the audience because this is exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since we were late for game 1.
Yeah. Really fantastic. So, what are we going to
Looks like
see?
Weenie and Gray are still going at it.
Oh, I don't like that. That means Gray's going to be so warmed up and I'm just going to be ready to die.
It's fine, you're gonna be prepared to face you're well enough to face me again, but you're against Gray, not me.
Yeah, I mean, Gray and you play very differently, and so it's going to be tough. I mean, Gray's macro game is so strong. For example, my counter pick against you was going to be Soothing Oasis. And I feel like Soothing Oasis against Gray would be suicide. So...
Yeah, that was very, very impressive from Gray when he managed to beat Sniper on the, what's it called? Oh, Red Beach.
Yeah, I do like Red Beach, though. I do think I have some good strategies for Red Beach that I should be able to do decent on.
Let me guess, the turtles from inspired by Skitter? Turtles
Yes.
for...
Yep, I was just going to find slow units on a big map. Game 5,
that
here we
seems like
go.
the way to go.
Oh, is this gonna be... Is this what's happening? Sandbar? Oh my god. Okay.
Are we expecting pure swimmers?
I am. I'm expecting pure swimmers, certainly. And... I don't like it already, but... That's fine. We're going into game 5. This is Sandbar. It's B-Champ, and I still hate pure swimmers.
Maybe you should nerf them.
Oh. Please. Please, waited. Forgot. Alright, unpause the recording. Here we go, game 5. Anyone could take it here. This has been neck and neck. We're going to see some pure swimmer action. It's going to be really exciting. Powell, how are you doing? Are you here?
Here, that's interesting that in the short break we had, you completely switched your opinion on pure swimmers.
Oh no, I don't like pure swimmers. I'm just slowly
Still
accepting.
excited.
I mean, I am excited to see Game 5 happen. I'm not excited for Sandbar and Pure Swimmers, even though it is a very amazing map. Like, I do love the map. I just don't like that Pure Swimmers just don't have a lot of variety, and just because we don't have a lot of swimming units. There's just way more land units, land stocks than there are swimming stocks. So, if there were more swimming
You know
stocks,
what I
think
would like to
Pure
see?
Swimmer more.
I would like to see a sneaky land chamber on that edge of the island that Sniper did versus, I think, Mutt.
Yeah, a sniper
Very.
sneaky chamber would be pretty awesome. I don't think we're going to see that from these guys, though.
It's always exciting because it's like, is it gonna get spotted? Is it gonna get spotted?
A little bit of miss micro from Nisperox here. But
Don't you mean
overall,
Yagami?
pretty similar builds. Nothing too exciting. One rod each, one workshop each. Continuously building henchmen.
So, I'm not very experienced on Sandbar, but doesn't make which side of their island do they build their water chambers? Where is it beneficial?
Usually I've seen people build them on the outside.
It's
I would say
interesting.
it's less common on the inside of the islands. And the reason being because attacks, long-range artillery attacks, normally come from the outside towards the lab, and so putting water chambers on the outside is a nice way to address the attacks early on. Looks like Yagami's going for the center geyser. This is a good early move. These geysers are critical key points on the map. There's one on the bottom left, there's one in the center, and it's very important to get them early on and fight for them the entire game. And the level 2s have
Both
come out.
players hitting level 2.
Yep. And
Probably gonna make some pure swimmers straight away.
yeah, definitely looking at pure swimmers right now. And what do we got? What are these? Rubber duck. This is a classic Yagami unit. Scouting all across the map with these rubber ducks. And we have a couple attacking units, a lobster cuttlefish and a tuneel coming out from Nisperox. Lobster cuttlefish is amphib, and it will get seen by the keen sense.
It's actually one of my favorite units, Amphib Lobster, level 2. For some reason, I'm losing my voice. I don't know why.
Oh, interestingly, see that tuneel actually ended up attacking this. Or actually, I thought I saw an attack animation, but no damage was done to this rubber duck. That's weird. Rubber duck impervious to damage. But these scouts are going to be really good for Yagami to see everything that's going on. Absolutely invaluable. Nisperox taking the
How much
center
do they
expansion.
cost, those scout rubber duckies?
The rubber ducks, let's see. 73.20.
It's not too bad. You actually pay quite a bit for that HP. I'm not sure if that's a byproduct. Like, just you have to pay for the HP if you want that particular keen sense.
Yeah, because the eagle's size 4. And it looks like Yagami's coming in with the tuneels against Nisperox's tuneels. And this is just my favorite part of the game. when the two Neils
It's
attack each
worse.
other.
It's like you don't even know who's winning.
Oh.
Wait, was that a change? That two Neils no longer have 47 water speed?
Yeah, they are a little slower now. But consequently, they are a little cheaper.
Interesting change.
Yeah, but Yagami did get the speed upgrade. Nisperox did not. Yagami should be able to micro the situation a little bit better, but he's lost too many two Neils and he doesn't have a good attack arc. So he has to retreat. Nisperox definitely has the advantage going into this. Yagami can retreat with this extra speed. And it looks like Nisperox was able to take down Yagami's geyser in middle. He's going to take that for himself. Nisperox has both geysers and the contested middle coal up top, which has 4 coal piles compared to 3. Definitely can see the henchmen do swim slower than they run when they normally collect coal, and so getting the speed upgrade could be pretty valuable to make sure you're properly and efficiently mining coal. Yagami coming back and being able to win this engagement.
Is it because you're that zoomed out, but some units kind of like appear out of nowhere?
I mean, if you're really zoomed out, I can still see him, even really, really zoomed out. Maybe very far away, but in the center of my screen, I can see everything.
Both players fighting for that generator at the bottom.
Yeah, what I feel like we need to see from Nisperox is another chamber somewhere to do a raid on one of Yagami's expos. Right now, we're seeing a very one-dimensional fight just in this bottom left. And, ooh, bad chamber. That needs to get deleted and salvaged by Nisperox. Looks like it's not going to happen. Nisperox now only having 2 chambers is going to be difficult to keep up with Yagami's production. He does have 3 chambers.
I'm also interested, like, since the two Neils have so much water speed, if artillery even works against them since they're so fast.
That's the thing about them. Artillery doesn't really work against them very well. Artillery will work if they are engaged like this right now, because obviously to attack the two Neils have to stay still. But if you just build artillery, then the two Neils can simply run away most of the time. It looks like we do see some raiders on Yagami's lab, which is good, and Nisperox is now level 3. So this is going to be really big because Yagami is not looking at that level 3 yet, and level 3 pure swimmers tend to be really, really strong. It looks like we do have some of these. What are these? Caterpillar, giant octopus, have a lot of melee health, and you can see the two Neils just kind of kite out of the way. But what we're able to see there is, yes, the two Neils were able to get away unscathed, but they had to leave. If they were to stay, they would have lost that engagement.
Interesting that he has so much melee on that artillery.
Yagami's lab is now
Maybe
under attack.
he.
Just after losing a bunch of his henchmen at home.
I wonder what his plan is to take out those raiders in his base.
It's tough. I mean, he's still looking at staying level 2 right now, building a lot of henchmen. He's not really fighting these raiders. He could easily hench punch these. And he's conscious at his base. Like, he built the tower and he's repairing his lab, so he's going level 3 now. But in the meantime, that was a lot of lost mining time. It is good that he did send the two Neils to take out one of Nisperox's expansions, but he won't be able to really hit this expansion too hard up top because the henchmen aren't there, or he'd have to go all the way around the outside of the circle.
So far, it looks like it's a very even game.
Yes, it does. It's pretty even so far. I would say Nisperox has a little bit of an advantage right now just because of the level 3. But he is not capitalizing on his expos. He did lose to this expo right here, and I'd like to see him build on his outer expo. There's Yagami at level 3. Kind of showing Nisperox was able to use his level 3 to defend with these artillery, but not really to convert a strong advantage. And we need, I think, probably more aggressive water chambers. If there are some water chambers near this generator in mid, I think Nisperox will be able to keep that area much stronger. But it's going to be difficult. He has these really slow artillery units. They're not going to be able to retreat. They don't have camouflage or anything like that. They have to continue and engage. And they're going to lose this fight against all these Tuneals. He just doesn't have enough.
Especially since they're fully upgraded.
Yeah, you really need to mass these slow units if you're going to use them on a pure swimmer map, because pure swimmer speed tends to be pretty fast, especially with these eels. And so you're not going to be able to escape if you bring really slow units against Tuneals. Nisperox reclaiming this
Quite
expo
stalemate.
here. What did you say?
I wonder what's gonna. Yeah, that it's quite the stalemate so
Yes.
far.
Yes,
Wonder
it is.
what's gonna push one player's advantage, like some kind of land raid, maybe.
I think there needs to be more raids. We're just attacking in this bottom left area. We have some small raids going on in mid, but Nisperox needs to go to this top left area raid. Yagami does have at his top workshop. He is building a creature chamber, a land creature chamber, that's going to be able to take down Nisperox's center workshop here. But in the meantime, both players are just massing units in the bottom left. And here come level 2 Mountain Lion Lobsters that are going to come in and raid this top expansion. Nisperox is going to lose this.
That's what I like to see. Some nice raiding.
Yeah, this is a really good attack arc. Almost a perfect circle by Nisperox, being able to take out all the units in the middle. And it looks like, what does Yagami have? These hammerhead pistol shrimps? Surely these aren't good. What? 16 range versus 22 range. I mean, these hammerhead pistol shrimps are just really not good. I don't think they're going to lose that matchup pretty hard. And I think Yagami lost this. Nisperox, did Nisperox just win 3 games in a row? I mean, what's Yagami going to do here? His lab is getting directly attacked. Wow. Oh my gosh, such strong games at the beginning by Yagami, but it did end up falling apart. Nisperox played so well at the very end there. I think using the camouflage of the eel narwhals to get a really nice attack arc and just completely destroy Yagami's forces, just surround them and destroy them, was why he was able to push through and win. Yagami was starting to do a really good raid at the top. I thought that was going to start to tip the scales, but Nisperox just had that top expo for too long, I think. Amazing.
It's interesting that someone brought. Oh no, it's one of the spectators' armies, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised he built these hammerhead pistol shrimps. I mean, without camo having range that short, I feel like. And they're not bulky either. If they were bulky, maybe, but surprised that he brought those. Yeah, these narwhal eels were just so powerful.
That was an interesting series.
Yeah, definitely it was. So, congratulations to Nisperox moving on to the next round of the top, I guess not the top 8 anymore. This is the semifinals that we're going into. So, Nisperox will be playing winner. Here's, let me share here. Nisperox, looks like someone's already gotten in here and started editing. Is going to be playing the winner of Puglin and Mutt. And it looks like Yagami is going to be playing. Oh, look, Yagami gets vacation. He's going to get to relive vacation against either the loser of Mutt versus Puglin. So Really exciting stuff. We're starting to see the semifinals now in Critter Clash. And it doesn't look like Yagami or Nisperox have opted to join the chats. So that's the sets. Powell, do you have any closing words, closing remarks?
I guess I underestimated Nisperox.
Yeah, I mean, really strong play by Nisperox. I am very impressed that he was able to come back after losing 2 games in a row. Very decisive games to Yagami. Oh, here's Yagami now in the chat. Yagami, do you have any comments about those games?
No, I have no comments. I don't know even what to say. I was winning 2-0 and I thought that maybe I have chance to end it at 3-0, but oh well. You saw it.
Whose idea was to go best of 5?
That was my idea.
Oh no! Oh no, I'm very happy it went best of 5 selfishly, because we were able to see some amazing gameplay from the top players in the scene, you and Nisperox.
Yeah, I hope the games were good to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely very entertaining. Very interesting. I was noticing that you were generally opting for a slower level 2 in your games. You would go no rods at the start, expand, and just build up more of a macro game. And Nisperox was doing the same. Did you have any thoughts that maybe a fast rush could throw Nisperox off balance?
Yeah, my build order is basically made for booming on level 2. Like, I have a power spike when hitting level 2. This builder is basically almost the same as Nisperox. I think the rush could have worked, but I'm not really good in rushes, to be honest. And I didn't really want to try it without any practice before, so I wasn't ready for doing rushes against such a good player, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I was also wondering why you didn't go. Your counter picks were Führer and Sandbar. I was surprised you didn't go for a bigger map like Boardwalk or something like that, so you could kind of go and expand more with your macro game. What was your idea with Sandbar?
It's just that Nisperox lost against Matt on Sandbar, I think yesterday, so I thought maybe I have a chance too.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the big maps with macro game, it's just not my thing. I was really surprised that I won on Soothing Oasis because, as I said yesterday, that it is my worst map. Like, I was always good only on small maps, and big maps were my weakness. So I was surprised that. I have practiced Soothing, but I didn't know that I will win against Nisperox on it.
Yeah, but it was a pretty big decisive victory too. I didn't think it was that close.
Yeah, thanks. But it's just that I don't feel really confident on big maps. It was really a surprise for me to win on Soothing. That's why I didn't pick something bigger.
Yeah. Well, I'm very happy at least that we're in the double elimination portion, so you still do have a chance at the title, at potentially even facing Nisperox again. So
yeah, I can't wait to face him again. He won't win next series, trust me.
Yeah, if he let's say Mutz is to make it past Puglin and Mutt and Nisperox play off, and if Nisperox loses game 6, then as long as you can win your next game, then you'll play the loser of game of Mutt and Nisperox. So you might get a chance at him yet.
Oh, nice. I thought that maybe I will meet him in finals, but we will see.
yeah. It depends really who wins the game 6 here. So with that, I'm just going to end the recording. Thanks so much, Yagami. Very entertaining games. Thanks, Powell, for joining me on the stream. It's been great.